fascinating story in the Old Testament on the life of Moses. What happens was he was in a war with the Amalekites. And Joshua is down in the valley and he's fighting against the Amalekites. And at this moment, they were losing the battle. And then all of a sudden, the Lord began to speak to him. And he said, grab 2 men, Aaron and Hur, and bring them alongside of you. And as long as your arms are lifted up, you will win the victory. But the moment you put your arms down is the moment you will begin to experience defeat. And so these 2 men, they came alongside of him and they lifted up his arms. And here's what it says in Exodus 17. Whenever Moses held up his hands, Israel prevailed. And whenever he lowered his hands, the Amalekites prevailed. So the principle is this: worship wins the war. That as you begin to worship God, God begins to show up. It invites his presence and his power in your life in a very unique way. Some of you, you are losing battles in your life because you are going through with your arms by your side. You are trying to accomplish it all on your own. You're not seeking God's divine plan and intervention in your life. You're not worshiping him. And that's why you're experiencing the defeats that you're going through in your life. But when you would learn to worship God, to lift up his name, to lift up his praise, then you will begin to see that God will fight the battles on your behalf, that God wins the war when God's people learn to worship. We're in a spiritual battle and we can't just walk around defeated and when we have been receiving victory that comes from the precious life of Jesus Christ.